So, story time. Someone recently told me,
The president can send in the military whenever he wants. He is the president after all.
and something about that didn't sound right. So I went digging, and here's what I learned. So when something big happens, like a disaster, a protest, emergency, who is usually the first person to keep us safe? Most of the time, it's handled close to home. Think like local mayors, governors, city officials, state leaders, people who are closest on the ground. They can call in the National Guard, people who are trained for disasters, fires, public safety situations. They are there to help though, not to take over. There is actually a law for this. It's called the Posse Comitatus Act. And it says the US military, like the Army or the Air Force, can't act like local police inside the country unless Congress gives it the green light. That means no random arrests, no patrolling protests, no patrolling city streets. Again, unless Congress gives explicit permission. That kind of federal power, it's not meant to be on standby for domestic use. But there is a legal loophole, and it's called the Insurrection Act. It gives the president power to send in federal troops without a state's permission, but only in very specific cases. Like if the state asks for help, if there is violence that blocks a federal law, or if people's rights are being denied and the state refuses to step in. It's not supposed to be used lightly or in blanket situations. In 1957, President Eisenhower sent troops to enforce school desegregation in Arkansas, and state officials refused to comply. And in 1992, President George H.W. Bush used it during the LA violence after the Rodney King verdict. And in 2020, President Trump threatened to invoke it during the Black Lives Matter protests. It sparked huge backlash, even from military leaders, and in the end, it wasn't used. But the fact that it almost was raised serious alarms. So yes, the president does have the authority, but it's not supposed to be automatic. It needs checks and it needs balances. This taco, it's a metaphor. Local, transparent, made with care. That's how public safety should work. Starting in the community and tailored to what people actually want and need. But when presidential power skips all that and takes over, it stops being about safety and it stops being about people and it starts becoming about power and control. Power without limits. And that is not what democracy is supposed to be like. So no, the president can't just send in the military whenever he wants, or at least not in a system where checks and balances are actually working or are supposed to work.